So 3 groups. I hope some of you are ready, hopefully all.
They are supposed to have 2 texts. One text is gapped, and the second one is a full text. We wanted to combine at this stage 2 kinds of work, just to fill in the gap and to predict what percentages could be instead of gaps. And at the same time, students are going to practice reading as in speaking task 1.
For our students to match the numbers, so the percentage numbers to the equivalents. Yeah, and then I also will suppose that sometimes we want to say that it is not the exact number, but approximately, nearly, well, something a little more than. So, and I suppose that they can fill in also just the same table, this table according to the statistics, but some sentences are true with no mistakes and some sentences are false. So they have to analyze and read the sentences, then say if the sentence is true, so we leave it as it is. If the sentence is false, so they have to correct the mistakes.
And can you discuss with your colleagues the sequence, the logic, the activities? Maybe you may have some suggestions for improvement or how you would do some things differently.
But you see, the main problem was to find this real language, real statistics on the internet. Well, and thanks, Vitalina. That's
maybe okay, but the last task when you need matching or true false, so it takes a lot of time. I think it will take time for them to read the again, to look at the chart.
So my congratulations, that was really great. So really logical sequence and all the activities are interesting. Another group.
On teaching to write comments, and the main problem that my students, well, not my student, that I usually face is that the students either write some too general phrases that are not really a comment, or just something insane, not connected with the statistics at all. To have a look at an example of task 38, the topic is health and fitness. There, I already give them examples of ready-made comparisons and comments. And the task is to, well, first of all, I'll give them about 2-3 minutes to read everything with the question. Sort the comments into 2 columns, examples of good comments and examples of bad comments. Let's compare 1 and 3. They are very similar, but one of them has a trap.
Okay, is it, are there any mistakes in statistics or only in comments? Because
no, only in comments. Comments. And then there is an activity which now I'd like us all to do together. So you as students, let's look at point 3.1.
So now look at another task 38 and 3 comparisons for it. In pairs, brainstorm 1 good and 1 bad comment for each comparison.
It means that students are lazy. Won't it be kind of overgeneralizing? We can't say they're really lazy.
Yeah. Ekaterina, I wanted to ask you, is it okay to teach bad examples? Because I don't like this idea.
Actually, I don't mind. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And yeah, the reasons probably are the first is they still produce good language. So they still talk and think about ideas that should be expressed in English. Secondly, they come up with the ideas that are irrelevant. It means they focus on comments that can be relevant or irrelevant. And they start judging them.
But actually, this is just to give me time to reorganize pairs. So then I mix the partners. Student 1 works with student 3 and sorts their comments into good and bad, and student 3 controls. Student 2 at the same time works with student 4.
Yeah. Make just a comment.
I don't know that they are bad. That
create a comment, because even we as teachers got some doubts about it. That is why probably I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, a fantastic lesson as usual. So you actually do really great job. I envy your students, and I'm sure they get great results. The scaffolding is amazing, how you scaffold an activity. And whatever difficult the activity is, you divide it into proper steps to reach the aim of the lesson. Fantastic. Okay, paragraph 3 now, problems and solutions.
At first, we have a discussion. So they need to discuss which do they prefer, shopping online or in the mall. I tell them to read the sentences and put them in the correct column. So we have 2 columns, pros and cons. Then I ask them what problems can one face while shopping for clothes online, not only for shopping, but for clothes. And I prepare them for the task. For this task, because here we have what people in Zetland think about shopping online, and the problem is what a problem that can arise with shopping for clothes.
Quite nice, and like at the end, the aim is to write this paragraph. So maybe first we can write it orally.
That's why.
And can you explain, so how do you mix them? I mean, how if, for example, we have student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, right? 2 pairs. So they created problems. And then what happens? Student 1 works with student 3?
No. Student 1 and student 2 works with problems of student 3 and student 4.
I see. So they don't change pairs, they change the problems.
Yeah, I think this is a really good sequence. Again, we start with some oral discussions and you guide students step by step. Fantastic. Really, really great.